Good morning, dear listeners. Today we will continue with the series of podcasts about cures without side effects, which is based on my book with the same title. And the first part of my book is about healing using the mind. And we already spoken in the previous podcast about the importance of understanding the working of the mind, the conscious and subconscious mind. And today we continue with the power of concentration and presence. So as we already seen, all methods that one can use using the mind to start healing processes are based on the capacity to be present and have a very stable concentration. So concentration brain means to bring to a center, and is the best of the mind's tool. So it's the foundation of all tools of the mind. Concentration and presence go together, although presence is more like an effortless situation of the mind, where once one has developed a stable concentration, then one can just kind of loose up and just remain in a state of presence, which means undistracted. Undistracted means that one is not disturbed by thoughts, disturbing emotions, and one can just function and has some kind of control over one's activities and actions. And this is not a state of enlightenment, this is not a state of awakening, this is just a tool that very important tool that mind can develop, and but is the foundation of anything that any path to any spiritual path or whatever path one decides to embark in. So basically, going back to concentration, this is developed by practicing, and there are many methods that exist in the West, in the East, but basically all methods use more or less the same principle, which is to first concentrate on an object of the senses and an object of the mind. One of the most simple method that is used in Buddhist training, Hinduist training, and many other types of trainings is to focus on the breath. So the focus on the breath, it's basically the breath becomes the object of our concentration, and once we have developed an undistracted concentration with a non-physical object, for example the breath, or it can be a physical object, for example a flower, for example. Once we have developed that kind of concentration, we'll be able to remain in a state of undistracted presence, and we will not be disturbed by movements of thoughts. And this is called undistracted presence of mind, or abiding in the present moment. Sort of this word abiding in the present moment means that we're still in the realm of dualistic mind, because there is somebody abiding and something to abide on, but it's nevertheless a very important tool. So in a nutshell, the whole process of concentration or meditation, we can call it meditation, consists in fixing the attention upon something which can be physical, non-physical, or even one's own consciousness itself. Once we have developed a little bit of stability, you can just mind focuses on mind, and you are able to hold it there without being distracted by wandering thoughts or emotions. And once this is mastered in practice sessions, and it takes time, so undistracted concentration or mindfulness, we can call it's called also mindfulness. It's a Western term that has been developed. It means being present. This can be carried out in all daytime activities, and it's called abiding in the present moment. Some some call it the power of now, because we abide in the present moment. So just to finish up this podcast, just a few words about how to develop concentration and presence. So for example, we take the breath, we just sit and we concentrate in a one-pointed way on the inhaling and exhaling process without altering or modifying the breath. We're not trying to modify in any way the breath. This is not a breathing technique. This is just breath is just the focus of attention. And the reason we focus is because we need to have a focus, so that when thoughts and emotions come, we start noticing them instead of it. And at the beginning we're distracted, but with practice we become less and less distracted, and the breath becomes a kind of effortless concentrating process. So anytime we're distracted, we gently bring back the mind to the object of concentration over and over and over again, without following, without rejecting distracting thoughts or emotions, without altering them, without rejecting them. And after some time, one is able to effortlessly direct the focalized mental power of concentration upon whatever object, concept, or anything without distractions. It takes time. So at first we use the breath, we let go, we concentrate on the breath, we are not distracted, we don't try to alter the breath, we don't try to alter the movements of the mind, we don't reject, we don't accept, we don't do anything, we just bring back. This develops a kind of meditation stability or concentration stability. And then we kind of let go also of the object of concentration. So we almost let go of the breath as the object of concentration, and we just remain in a stable presence, and we're just present to anything that happens, to the sense objects or to the mind objects, like thoughts and emotion. And the final result of all these practices is that one is able to carry this new acquired skill of peaceful, undistracted presence into daytime activities, and one is able to carry out any activity or task with total accuracy and without any effort, without generating resistance to what is manifesting in the present moment. And a peaceful kind of rest state of the mind is achieved after some time. It takes practice. And but because all methods of mental imaging, creative visualization, positive statements, healing methods, anything is based on the power of undistracted mental presence, the day one achieves control over the movements of one's attention, and that is the control of the movements of one's mind, is the day one will acquire the capacity to change one's circumstances, or to heal or start a healing process, and gain a little bit of control over one's mind and one's life. So the power to abide in undistracted presence is an indispensable quality of consciousness and mind if one wants to make any spiritual or practical change. Okay, so this is it for the power of concentration, the developing of presence, and we will speak again about health depending on the law of cause and effect in the next podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast.